and welcome to Langston Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University here in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. We have the second game of this evening's doubleheader between the Tigers of Ouachita Baptist and the Reddies of neighboring Henderson State University. This is the second the second game of this doubleheader against the two rivals here in the Battle of the Ravine rivalry matchup. Always a classic rivalry as the umpires and the two coaches at home plate together. We still have a pretty decent crowd. The temperature is starting to cool off a little bit as the sun is starting to peek behind the clouds and the trees. But Ouachita won the first game of this doubleheader 2-0 after an excellent pitching performance from Hannah Hunter and some pretty solid hitting, which got it started was Aaron Williams, who had a solo home run in the first inning. And after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. Ouachita's fielding was spectacular, preventing any Henderson runs, and only 4 hits were allowed in that game. Ouachita would love a repeat of that performance, as instead of Hannah Hunter starting pitching for Ouachita, it's going to be Tuesday Melton who's going to be pitching for the Tigers. Melton so far on the season has 2 wins and 5 losses in 13 appearances. Has pitched in 31 innings. Has allowed 46 hits and has walked 12 batters. She got her second win of the season in their last game here at home that was not Henderson against Arkansas Tech. It was also a 2-0 victory against the visiting Golden Suns. It was the final game of their home series against Arkansas Tech, and Melton came in, started as the pitcher, and pitched the entire game and earned the victory. Here's Melton's first pitch, and that's going to be popped up and fouled right to the left of us. And if you're just joining us and you didn't catch any of the action in the first game of this doubleheader, you might notice there is a softball stuck in the wire and the netting of the safety net behind home plate. And that is because Lily Warren, who is batting now for the Reddies, she hit a foul ball which landed right in between those. That's going to be out of reach of Melton, and that's going to be out number 1 for the Tigers. Nice stretch by Lester. Warren was not happy with the call, thought she was safe. That's going to be out number 1 of the inning as Hillary Akers is set to bat for the Reddies. But they tried to jiggle that ball free from the net and has yet to come down. And I had said if I was a betting man, I'd bet $1 and I would win $1. Maybe I should have put down a little bit more. And here's King to Lester. We saw that connection a lot in the previous game, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. Well, Henderson State just has not been able to get anything going in the first game, and not here in the first initially. As now batting for the Reddies is Brooke Johnson, who started the previous game for the Reddies, pitching. Here's Melton's pitch. A little high, and that's going to be ball 1. That one's going to go to King. Gets past her glove, though. It's going to stay fair as it goes down the left field line, and that's going to be a single for Brooke Johnson. And that's good for her 16th hit of the year. She is second on the team in hits. only behind star freshman Lily Warren, who is 31. Here's Melton's pitch, and that one, I think it made contact with the bat, but it still will be a 0-1 count with 2 outs and 1 runner on first. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be ball number 2. And that's going to be inside for ball 2.
There should be another one out there already. Maybe they brought it back.
And that's going to go to Gillis, and she's going to get the out at first. The connection between Gillis and Lester pays off, as that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. We're going to be heading into the bottom of the first here in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have more Tiger softball action after this break.
At Taylor King Law, we understand that being injured can be a stressful and overwhelming experience.
And that's why we're here to help you every step of the way.
As your dedicated legal team, we'll stand by your side when you're being ignored.
We'll be on your side to fight for the compensation you deserve.
Don't let the insurance companies intimidate you. Let us go to work for you.
Call us today and let us help you get back on the road to recovery.
On your side, by your side. When you've been injured, we're here for you.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
Well, the score is still scoreless as we're into the bottom of the first inning here at Langston Field. It is the Battle of the Ravine matchup between Ouachita and Henderson State. Always a classic matchup between these two neighboring GAC schools. Of course, the closest rivalry in all of college athletics. Closest as in geographically, as right now I am looking right at some of the Henderson State apartments. That's not going to be fair. That's going to be foul, as Olivia C. is going to lead off the inning. It's going to lead off for the Tigers. She was the leadoff last game for Ouachita and had a couple big plays. But again, this is the closest rivalry in all of college athletics. As D. Whitefield, I can even see it, which is where Henderson State softball plays. I can see it right over the tree line over there. But we had some good shots earlier in the previous broadcast, and we might even have more drone footage. We'll see. That one's going to be outside for ball number 2. Well, for Henderson State, it's a new pitcher. It's Megan Allen, pitching for the Reddies. So far in the season has recorded 2 wins and 3 losses. Has an ERA of 3.2, has pitched in 36 innings, has struck out 20 batters, has walked 17, and has allowed 27 hits on the season. That's going to go right to short, and that's going to be an easy out for Henderson State. Bailey King coming up to bat for Ouachita. Has just been one of those players on Coach Jackson's roster that has performed, has exceeded expectations, if you will, coming in as a freshman. That's going to go right to third, and that's going to be another out at first. For the Reddies, it's 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first, as Aaron Williams, the anchor for this Ouachita offense, coming up to bat. Got their previous game started off right with a home run, as that's going to be ball 1, but her 4th home run on the season. In their previous game just an hour or so ago, that's going to be strike number 1. And it's actually not her 4th home run, that was just her 3rd home run of the season. That's a swing and a miss, as that one was really low there. So 1-2 is the count and 2 outs. Here's Allen's pitch, and that's outside. That's going to be ball 2.
Okay, just so I can tell him. Oh.
And she makes contact that time. The count's going to be sitting at 2-2. Still with 2 outs and nobody on base for the Tigers.
Did anyone else hear that high-pitched frequency? Okay.
That's going to be ball number 3. So it's a full count as Williams is at the plate. So far in the year, she's recorded 27 hits and 11 runs and 16 RBIs. Gets on base about 45% of the time. And that foul is going to go right in front of the Henderson dugout. And it's a swing and a miss, and Williams not happy about that one, but that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. Well, we're going to be heading into the 2nd inning here at Langston Field, so don't go anywhere. More Tiger softball action is going to be coming up right after this break on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Oakita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Well, as you can see, Ouachita and Henderson really close. Can pretty much see each other's fields exactly from each other's field. Just shows you just how close these two universities are, and half of the sections here in front of me, half of it is Ouachita fans, the other half is Henderson State fans. A pretty even number of both. You don't typically see that from an away crowd, if you even want to call it a road crowd. This is not a true road game for Henderson State. Of course, they're not playing on their own field and in their own facility. Just about a couple minutes away from their own field. That one's going to be fouled right. and right behind the Ready dugout. Well, batting for the Reddies is Emily Bittiger. And that one's going to be right into the party deck, or off the roof of it. So 1-2 is the count. Yeah, the party deck, you can relax. It's a nice, relaxing, new addition to Langston Field. But you got to be on your toes and ready for anything that comes your way. Oh, and that was right over Melton's head. That's going to be a single for Bittinger to start this second inning. Now Josie Copeland coming in for the Reddies. Has 10 hits and 3 runs on the year. Also has 4 RBIs. Gets on base about 36% of the time. That's going to be fouled right into the Henderson State bullpen. Here's Melton's pitch. And that's going to be popped into left. Will it? It will not stay fair. This Henderson group was ready to erupt. That was very close to a two-run home run. Did not stay fair. Wow, that was really close. And if you're Washita, you got to be really happy with that result. Obviously, you didn't give up a home run. That one's going to be outside that time. But if that had just stayed a little bit to the right, that would have been Copeland's first home run of the year. And that one's going to go to center field. What a grab. And it's just going to be one out here. What a grab there by Caitlin Province, who played left field in their first game. Is playing center here in this second game. What a grab. Didn't have to truly slide or dive to get it, but had to kind of contort awkwardly. But good concentration to hang on to make the catch. That's just going to be the first out of the inning, as Caitlin McMahon is up to bat for Washita. That one's gonna go to Melton, and can only get one out there. That one, McMahon's gonna go to first, but they will get Copeland out at out at second, as she was trying to get to it. Now batting for the Reddies is Mackenzie Williams, making her first appearance today. 0-1 is the count. And that was outside. McMahon trying to steal, and she is safe. It was a good steal attempt by McMahon. Actually just her first attempt and successful steal of the season, and it pays off for the Reddies. 0-2 is the count with 2 outs. And it's going to stay that way as that one's fouled off to the left. Here's Melton's pitch, and that's outside again. That's going to be ball 1. The Henderson State dugout, very loud, calling for Melton to throw another ball. She doesn't do that, but it will be fouled off by Williams. Well, Mackenzie Williams, freshman from Texarkana, Texas, has 10 hits and 3 runs on the year. That one's going to go to King, and that's not going to stay fair. Bounced right over the left field line. Foul right before King could get to it, so couldn't make a play in time. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs, and runners on just second, and that's McMahon. Here's the pitch, and that's outside again, so we're sitting with a full count here. The ready dugout really letting Melton here, and that's going to be ball 4, and the dugout gets their wish. Well, now batting for the Reddies is Jay Allbitter. Allbitter just making her 10th at-bat on the year. That's a swing and a miss for strike 1. She does have 2 hits and 2 runs on the year, also an RBI. Here's the pitch, and that's right down the middle for strike number 2. Runners on first and second. Williams on first, McMahon on second. That one's going to be popped into the drainage ditch, right behind the ready bullpen. Kind of don't like calling it the drainage ditch. Should have its own name. Maybe Drainage Creek. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. The Drainage Creek instead of the drainage ditch. That has a little bit of a better ring to it. One, 2 is the count with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that's popped up. Let's see if a lucky fan will get a souvenir. No, it won't be able. For that, it took a nice roll right behind home plate, though. Here's the pitch. And almost a grab there. Can they prevent a run at home? It's going to Williams. She can't get a hold of it. And runners advance to second and third. So the Reddies get on the board for the first time and break the 0-0 tie here in the second inning. That was McMahon that found her way home. And now Williams is at third. And Allbitter is at second for the Reddies. As we're back to the top of the order, and it's Lily Warren who pops it into left, and that's going to be an easy grab for Olivia C. So Henderson State finally gets on the board and breaks the ice between the two teams here in the second inning. But don't go anywhere. We have more softball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who is an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
Well, leading off the Tigers to start the bottom of the second is Remington Adams, the shortstop. Has 20 hits and 7 runs on the year. His 20 hits are good for second on the team. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be popped up. It should be an easy catch for somebody, and that's going to be Mackenzie Williams that gets up under it. It was going to be Brooke Johnson initially at first, but Williams was screaming for it, so she gets credited with the out. And Caitlin Province is batting for the Tigers. She's going to let that one go a little high for ball 1. And that one's right down the middle for strike number 1. As even though it's getting a little later in the day, we still have some more fans starting to piling in for both sides, both Ouachita and Henderson fans alike.
I got heads in the shot right now, so I'm waiting until they sit down.
2-1 is the count. And here's the pitch. And that one's going to go past second base, and that's going to be a nice single for Caitlin Province. That's going to be her 14th hit on the season as Carly Burrow, the freshman, making her 35th appearance batting for the Tigers. Also pitches for Ouachita. Pitched in the entire second game of most of the second game of last weekend's doubleheader against Arkansas Tech. Performed pretty well. It's going to be tiny bit outside. Some people groaned in the stands, but that will be strike number 1. So 1-1 with 1 out is the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside again for ball 2. Here's the pitch, and that's outside again for ball 3. And that one's high. That's going to be ball 4. And Burrow will head to first. Province will advance to second, and Riley Gillis is up to bat for the Tigers. Just 1 out on the board. And Gillis, she's a sophomore from Sheridan, Arkansas. That one's going to go behind her, and Province will advance to third. And Burrow will advance to second. So that's going to be ball 1 off the wild pitch. Gillis and McMahon, she didn't hold on, or not McMahon, that was Brooke Johnson. She didn't hold on to the ball. Will not be an out. Riley Gillis goes to first. It was initially going to be a sacrifice bunt, but Caitlin Province was able to score. Gillis goes to first, and Burrow advances to third. Well, now batting for the Tigers, Marley Huddleston. Huddleston is the sister of Maggie Huddleston. She's a sophomore but did not start a career with the Tigers. Burrow's going to be safe at third, but Gillis does advance to second. But Huddleston, in her first season with the Tigers, coming from University of Arkansas Rich Mountain. But so far on the year, has recorded just 3 hits and 8 at-bats, but still gets on base about 37% of the time. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for ball 3. So 3-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be right down the middle for strike number 1. So 3-1 is the count with the runners on second and third. That's Burrow on third and Gillis on second with just 1 out. And Ouachita tying this game at 1. And it's a swing and a miss by Huddleston. Now we're at a full count with the lone out. Here's the pitch, and Huddleston, that one's going to be bombed into right field. McMahon, she is able to get up under it, but in the meantime, the Reddies give up a run, and that is Burrow finding her way back home. Gillis does advance to third as Lauren Lester is up to bat for the Tigers. This is Lester's 59th at-bat on the year. It's 13 hits and 3 runs, as that one's going to be fouled behind her. And that's going to be right down the middle for strike number 2. Lester, she's going to get it up over Johnson at first. That's going to be an RBI single for Lester as Gillis heads home. So Ouachita now with a 2-run lead here. As we're back to the top of the order for Ouachita as Olivia C. is batting now for Ouachita. Lester on first, and that one's going to be popped just in front of Ouachita's bullpen. Well, Ouachita enjoying the success here in this inning. As that's going to be a bunt. Will she get to first? I don't think. Oh, she is safe. Wow. A great play by the freshman as Lester advances to second and C is safe at first. Now Bailey King, the freshman, the star freshman that is, batting now for the Tigers. 18 hits, 14 runs, 2 RBIs on the year. That's going to be outside and a little low for ball 1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be out number 3 for the Reddies. So they finally stop the bleeding here momentarily. Well, the Reddies are going to have a chance to hit now as we're going to be entering the top of the third. Stick around for more softball action here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Ouachita with a 3-1 lead entering the top of the third as Hillary Akers is batting now for the Reddies. More fans are finding their way into the stands here. In fact, I think some Henderson State women's basketball players, as that one's going to be an easy out for the Tigers. Nice stretch by Lester. But the Lady Reddies, as much as maybe as Ouachita fans would hate to admit, congratulations to them as they won out the Great American Conference Tournament in women's basketball and earned an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament for Division II. Johnson makes contact, but that's going to be foul. Now for the Reddies, they will be playing in their first round. They'll be playing Southern Nazarene, who they beat in the conference championship. So we'll see if they can beat the Crimson Storm 2 times in a row. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside. That's going to be ball 1. And that one's popped straight up. Let's see who can get up under it. That's going to be Remington Adams who gets up under it for the first out of the inning. Macy Hoskins, the freshman, now up to bat for the Reddies. That one's going to be fouled off to the right and behind her. Hoskins, a freshman from Bryan, Arkansas. For the boys basketball team at Bryant High School, they became the 6A men's basketball runner-ups after losing in the championship game to Little Rock Central.
Is Chris talking about basketball again? I'm kidding. I love basketball. I talk about it all day.
2-1 is the count with 2 outs. Ouachita leading by 2 runs. They're leading 3-1, which are thanks to great performances in that in the second inning, as that's going to be a single for Henderson State. That's Hoskins getting on base as Emily Bittinger is back to bat for the Reddies, starting this game as the catcher as well. That one's going to go right to right field, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning, thanks to a nice catch by Carly Burrow. Well, that's going to do it for the top of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. We have the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Langston Field right after this break.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts.
If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Washita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Washita campus store. Go Tigers.
Washita with a 3-1 lead here at Langston Field. Washita got the win, the 2-0 win in the first game of this doubleheader just about maybe an hour ago. Are looking to repeat the same type of success in this second game. And it's looking so good so far as Aaron Williams is leading off the inning for Washita. That one's going to be right down the middle for strike one. Now here's the pitch. That one's going to be outside for strike two. Williams didn't go all the way. Here's the pitch. And right down the middle for strike number two. Now for the Reddies, it's no longer Megan Allen pitching. It is Presley Applegate pitching now for the Reddies. As that one's going to be popped straight up. And, oh, what a grab! Oh! And that's still going to be credited with an out. What a grab! That was Jay Allbitter with the all-out effort to come up with the out. She did lose it for just a moment, but the umpire, the third base umpire, still said it was an out. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. What an effort by the sophomore. That's going to be strike number one. Or excuse me, ball number one. Adams, that one's going to go behind Drainage Creek. But so far on the season, Applegate is yet to record a win or a loss. She's pitched in 12 innings, has a 3.5 ERA as Adams is going to pop this one up, and that's going to be an easy out for Macy Hoskins in center field. And Caitlin Province heads to the plate. Now, Applegate has recorded 7 strikeouts, and heading into this game is at allowed 18 hits and a couple of home runs. That one's going to be a little high for ball one. Applegate, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, Texas. Province, that's going to be strike number one. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs and nobody on base as the Tigers lead by 2 runs here in the third. That one's going to be way outside for ball 2. Here's the pitch. Province pops this one up. Should be an easy catch, and it sure will be by Hillary Akers. Well, we're going to be heading into the top of the 4th. So we're going to have more Tiger softball action after this break. You're watching softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Ouachita with a 3-1 lead here in the top of the fourth at Langston Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University. As Henderson State, they're going to get it started, this inning started, with a single by Josie Copeland. And now batting for the Reddies is Caitlin McMahon, graduate of North Little Rock High School, the alma mater of yours truly, as that's going to be an out at second. Ouachita going for the double play, won't get it, but McMahon with their second hit of the evening is safe at first. Copeland out at second. Now Mackenzie Williams batting now for the Reddies. That one was a little low for ball one. Here's the pitch. Right to King and safe at first. It was a close call, but the first plate umpire makes the call as Williams is safe there at first. It was a nice throw from King to Lester, but it doesn't pay off for Ouachita. Now batting for the Reddies is Jay Allbetter. The sophomore had a great catch previously in the third inning, in the bottom of the third, forcing, I believe that was the second out of the inning. Here's the pitch. That was inside, but that's going to be strike number one. Here's the pitch. And that one's going to be fouled behind us, and I think that ball's going to take a trip onto Elrod Boulevard. That one's going to be popped up. Everybody pause for a moment. She's going to be safe at third. Oh, she's going to be out at third. Wow, I'm just as shocked as the Henderson fans. I for sure thought that was, I thought she was safe there at third. But McMahon heads back to the ready dugout, so that's going to be the second out of the inning. Well, again, the ready crowd not happy with that call, and it's not just 5 or 6 ready fans. It's half the seating is occupied by ready fans, as that's going to be out at third, the third out of the inning, as Williams trying to make her trip to third base. But Ouachita, heading into the bottom of the fourth, is going to hit. We'll see what they can do after this break. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Berry & Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry & Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry & Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Printmania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Printmania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Printmania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Printmania today, 870-246-3803.
Welcome back to Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law. For Washita, Carly Burrow is going to lead off in the bottom of the fourth for the Tigers. And she goes all the way through with her swing, and that's going to be strike number one. Burrow, a freshman from Perigold, Arkansas, is going to let that one go high for ball one. Well, usually by now, it'd be basically pitch black at this point, but of course, thanks to daylight savings time, we sprung forward a bit. That one's going to go to center field, and a nice grab by Macy Hoskins in center field, delivering the first out of the inning. But it was about this time on Saturday that we were towards the very beginning of the second game of the doubleheader against Arkansas Tech. And it was dark and rather cold. Not as many fans in shorts and short sleeves in that game as there are today. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be popped up. And it hits a bench. It's a nice job by, looks like a Henderson State fan, protecting her little one there, protecting him from getting hit by that ball. Those pop flies can be a little dangerous, especially for the little ones around. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped into right field, and McMahon gets up under it and delivers the second out of the inning. Well, Washita just has not had the same type of offensive success as they did earlier in the second inning when they delivered 3 straight runs. Thanks to some breakdowns by Henderson State's defense. And now batting for Washita is Marley Huddleston. Huddleston has already recorded an RBI on the day, which was her first of her Tiger career. That one's going to be popped up, and that's not going to go very far as Mackenzie Williams delivers the final out of the inning. Well, we're going to head into the top of the fifth in just a moment. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Well, it is still 3-1 as we enter the top of the fifth, and we got back a little later than we anticipated, but that's going to be a single right out the gate for the Reddies. That was Lily Warren recording another hit as she's going to try to steal second. She can't, but she'll stay put right now. Williams off target with the throw, trying to get it to Remington Adams at second. But Hillary Akers batting for the Reddies. There's going to be the bunt attempt, and Melton's going to get her out at first, but not before advancing Warren to third. So just the first out of the inning, and a ready runner on third.
Guys, she's coming. I can see her coming. Help me, please.
Now batting for the Reddies is Brooke Johnson. Johnson, a junior from Rockwell, Texas, has had a solid season batting for the Reddies. That one's going to be inside. That's going to be ball one. Well, Johnson's had a solid season hitting for the Reddies. 15 hits, 9 runs, but has yet to do anything up until that point, recording her first hit on the afternoon, or excuse me, on the evening. An RBI single for Brooke Johnson, sending Lily Warren home, and now putting Macy Hoskins at the plate. We will have a change at first, so it will not be Brooke Johnson running for the Reddies, but that is going to be Carly Johnston, a senior outfielder, coming in to run, or excuse me, a sophomore outfielder coming in to run for the Reddies. She's a sophomore from Gilmer, Texas. But so far today, Macy Hoskins really hasn't done a whole lot, grounded out in her previous at-bat attempt. But she still had a solid season as she fouls that one off to the right. Recording 14 hits, 12 runs, 7 RBIs, and now her 51st at-bat of the year. That one's going to be inside for ball one. Here's Melton's pitch. That's going to be into right. That's going to be fair. And they're going to advance to third and second with a nice uproar from the Henderson State fans. That's going to be Hoskins with the double, and she's going to be on second, and Johnston at third. Now Coach Jackson's going to have a conversation at the mound as he's ready to make a pitching change, and Melton's going to head back to the dugout. And in for Ouachita is Cody Batchelor, making her first appearance today. Batchelor, a sophomore from Poyen, Arkansas. Last played in the second game of the doubleheader against, or excuse me, the first game of the doubleheader against Arkansas Tech. Came in, had a pretty solid outing. She came in relief of Hannah Hunter in that game, but she did have to be relieved from the game in exchange for Carly Burrow. Now imagine Bachelor hoping to finish out this game instead. So far on the year, has recorded just one loss in 10 innings pitched, has a 6.1 ERA, has allowed 12 hits, has struck out 7 batters, but has given up 12 runs. Here's Bachelor's pitch, and that one's going to be bunted. And it's going to be Fielder's choice into second, and she's safe in at home. And the Reddies have just tied this ball game up at 3 runs apiece. Well, Bachelor with the initial out at first, and then Lester trying to get it to Williams at home, but she couldn't hold on to make the out. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a little low for a ball 1. Macy Hoskins still at third. And Josie Copeland is batting now for the Reddies. And it's a swing and a miss by Copeland. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. And of course, the Reddies have just tied this ball game up at 3. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high and outside for ball 2. Here's the pitch. That's fouled right in front of the Tiger dugout by Copeland. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs. That one's going to be fouled. Seems like everybody around that the third baseline had to get out of the way. The count will remain at 2-2. Copeland, the sophomore from Justin, Texas, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, but I think she did make contact. Stay at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be high and outside. That's going to be ball 3. Bachelor sitting with a full count here. And the Henderson State dugout continuing to let each Ouachita pitcher hear it. Seems like they have a new chant at every at-bat. And that one's going to be popped just past our production trailer and over towards the batting cages. It remains a full count. Runner on third with 2 outs. As that one's going to be right to short. Adams to Lester. Third out of the inning is recorded. Well, nice job by Ouachita finishing out the inning as they're going to head into the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
Well, Lauren Lester is going to lead off the bottom of the 5th for the Tigers. He's already recorded a hit and an RBI today, and that one's going to be popped up at the first pitch she saw and hits the top of the concession stand. Here's the pitch, and that one into the dirt. Takes a little bounce. Count is 1-1. Still a good number of fans here at Langston Field as Lester bombs this up against the wall in left field, trying to make it a double, and she will. Lauren Lester hyping up her teammates in the Ouachita dugout. For Lester, that is going to be her 4th double on the year, which is good for 3rd on the team. Now she's going to come out. I'm trying to see who they have in to run. It looks like Emma McCorkle is in to run for Lester at 2nd, as Olivia C. is going to be batting for the Tigers as we are back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. The bunt attempt will, and she's going to be out at first. It was definitely a close one, but it does advance McCorkle to 3rd. And Bailey King is up to bat for the Tigers. King, a freshman from Commerce, Oklahoma. That's going to be ball number 1 for Applegate. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike number 1. Down the middle, well, it's going to be ball number 2. The Henderson State crowd to the right of me, not happy with that call. That's going to be outside for ball 3. So 3-1 is the count with 1 out. And McCorkle on 3rd for the Tigers. That's going to be strike number 2, so it's going to be a full count. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be fouled right in front of the bullpen of the Tigers. Full count with 1 out. Here's Applegate's pitch, and that's going to be fouled again right to the top of the concession stand. Here's the pitch, and fouled once again in front of Ouachita's dugout. Here's Applegate's pitch, and that's going to be in the dirt for ball 4. Now Aaron Williams, the product of the duck and rice capital of the world of Stuttgart, Arkansas, is up to bat for Ouachita. And she'll be safe at first. Runner safe at first and third. Williams couldn't exactly make up her mind initially. Probably could have gotten King out at first. As Williams, that one's going to be fouled back. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a runner. She's going to be safe at second for Ouachita, but McCorkle finds her way home and puts Ouachita up by 1 run. Well, Coach Jackson having a conversation with the umpire. But the count will remain 1-2 with 1 out. But so far on the year, Aaron Williams hitting .39.4 with runners on base. Definitely a hopeful number for the Tigers, still with a runner on second. That's still Bailey King. Here's Applegate's pitch, and that one was a little outside. Williams went for it. That's going to be fouled off. Here's the pitch, and that's popped up again, and right in front of some Henderson fans. Oh, there was a dog that really wanted to get that ball, and I don't blame him. Here's the pitch, and that one, a wild pitch. King's going to advance to third. And now the count will be 2-2. Ouachita with a 1-run lead and just a singular out with 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's going to be strike 3, and Williams going to back to the dugout. Frustrated with that last at bat. as Remington Adams, the sophomore, heading to the plate for Ouachita. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be popped up and will be an out, the third out, this time for Hillary Akers, coming in from third. Well, we're entering the top of the sixth here at Langston Field, so don't go anywhere. We have more Tiger softball here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law. Ouachita with a one-run lead here at the top of the sixth at Langston Field on the campus of Ouachita Baptist University in the always classic Battle of the Ravine versus the neighboring Henderson State Reddies, who reside just across the street, as that's going to be strike number one for Caitlin McMahon at the plate for the Reddies. The Sherwood natives had a really solid start in this game as a stolen base and a run in our previous two at-bats. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be popped to center field, and that's going to be an easy out for Caitlin Province in center. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be strike number one for Mackenzie Williams. Williams, the Texarkana, Texas native. Has already recorded a hit and a walk on the day. She has been caught stealing, though, as that one will not be the second out of the inning. That will be a single, and the second hit on the evening for Mackenzie Williams. Placed it right between center fielder and short. A little bit of no man's land. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be strike number one for Cody Batchelor. Batchelor of Poen, Arkansas, gets her to swing and miss for strike number two. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball one. 1-2 is the count with one out. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss by Jay Allbetter. And now Lily Warren back to the plate for the Reddies as we're about ready to get back to the start of the order. Here's the pitch. She does make contact, but it will be foul. Williams can't get a hold of the ball there. And Williams advances to second. Here's the pitch. The slap hit goes right to Gillis at second. She can't hang on. And Lily Warren records the single. Williams advances to third as Hillary Akers enters the box. It's going to be strike number one for a Bachelor. The night has definitely gotten cooler at Langston Field. That goes right past Bachelor, trying to get the out at first, but she is safe. And Williams heads home for the Reddies and ties this ball game up at 4. Here at the top of the 6th, still just 2 outs on the board, and now runners on first and second. That's Akers at first and Warren at second for the Reddies. Here's the pitch. That's going to be strike number one. That's going to be a little outside. That's going to be ball number one. Here's the pitch. She does make contact. The count is 1-2. And Brooke Johnson's previous at-bat, she recorded a hit and eventually, well, which turned out to be an RBI. Here's the pitch. Right to third. And that's going to be an out at first. King to Lester. The connection we've been seeing all day long leads to the third out of the inning. Well, we're going to have more Tiger softball at the bottom of the 6th here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
At Taylor King Law, we understand that being injured can be a stressful and overwhelming experience.
And that's why we're here to help you every step of the way.
As your dedicated legal team, we'll stand by your side when you're being ignored.
We'll be on your side to fight for the compensation you deserve.
Don't let the insurance companies intimidate you. Let us go to work for you.
Call us today and let us help you get back on the road to recovery.
On your side, by your side. When you've been injured, we're here for you.
Well, the score is all knotted up at 4, heading into the bottom of the 6th here at Langston Field. In this Battle of the Ravine matchup between Henderson State and Ouachita Baptist University. Well, the Reddies have a new pitcher in, their third pitcher on the evening, as that's going to be strike number 1 for McKenna Keaton. Keaton is a junior from Morrilton, Arkansas, and a National Park College transfer, as that one's going to be singled into left field for Caitlin Province, leading off this inning for Ouachita. Now batting for the Tigers is Carly Burrow in her second at-bat. Was walked on her first at-bat. Zero one is the count. That's going to be ball number 1. And she does make contact, so that's going to be a 1-2 count. Well, behind me and kind of above Henderson State's campus is a really pretty pink sky. Pink and light blue sky, almost cotton candy colored. As that's going to be the third strike and lead Burrow out to the dugout, with Riley Gillis heading to the plate. But a really pleasant evening here in Arkadelphia. Gillis knocks it right to third, and that's going to be an easy out for the Reddies. The second out of the inning for Henderson State. That was Akers to Brooke Johnson at first, delivering the out. Now Marley Huddleston batting for the Tigers, the sophomore transfer from Arkansas Rich Mountain, a junior college that is used to producing a lot of solid baseball and softball talent. Oh, and now she's stuck in no man's land. They go back and forth, and she's going to be out at second, and that's going to lead to the third out of the 6th inning. Province was just kind of stuck, really didn't make up her mind if she wanted to go back to second or not, and was out right there at second. Well, we're going to head into the top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. We have more Tiger softball right after this break.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Scores tied at 4. Entering the top of the 7th here at Langston Field. Do apologize for those technical difficulties. Entering from the break. But good thing is, nothing happened in between now and when we first left the air. That one's going to be popped, and what a grab by Riley Gillis! Riley Gillis recording the first out of the inning. What a grab there by the sophomore. She easily could have just let that take a little bit of a bounce, and she could have still delivered the out at first. That's going to be ball number 1 for Batchelor. Batchelor has pitched pretty well so far for Ouachita after coming in relief of Tuesday Melton. Has allowed 2 hits and 24 pitches, and what a grab again, this time by Remington Adams at short. We must be having a catching competition to see who can have the better catch. Still, I think it's going to be Riley Gillis, but what a grab by Adams. That would have surely have been a hit recorded for the Reddies, but now it's 2 outs and no runners here in the 7th. That one's going to drop a little low. That's going to be ball number 1. Josie Copeland at batting for the Reddies has already recorded a hit today. That one's going to go to Adams at short, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. What a stretch. Lauren Lesser doing kind of the splits there at first. But that is going to be the end of the top of the 1st, as we'll take a look of the catch by. We're going to have a replay of one of the previous catches. But Ouachita still tied with the Reddies, 4-4. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Marley Huddleston leading off the 7th inning for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 7th. Ouachita and Henderson still tied at 4 apiece, and that off the noggin. Either that or the shoulder, I can't tell from up here. But Huddleston paid the price, but she'll head to first base. Now Huddleston will go to the dugout and end a run for her. Looks like that is going to be Mackenzie Amaya. Amaya Jr. from Dallas, Texas, and a graduate of Woodrow Wilson High. Oh, Keaton so far on the night has allowed a hit in 1 innings pitched and only 1 strikeout after facing now 5 batters. Here's the pitch. And down the middle for strike number 1. Here's Keaton's pitch. And Lester going for the bunt.
I think she got hit in the face.
The count will be 0-2. Lester has had a really nice game so far. In her previous 2 at-bats, he's had 2 hits, with one of them being a double. Has also recorded an RBI. Here's the pitch. That's going to be high and outside, and that's going to make it ball number 2. Here's the pitch. And she definitely wanted that one, and that goes right into the Ouachita bullpen. The count remains 2-2, with the score tied at 4 apiece. She had to reach for that one, but that one will be fouled off behind the Henderson State dugout right into Drainage Creek. Well, when you're in that creek going for a ball, definitely don't want to be barefoot. That one's going to be high, and that's going to be ball 3. Sitting with a full count is Lauren Lester, the senior from North Little Rock High School, the former charging Wildcat. That one's into center field, but that's going to be an easy catch by Macy Hoskins. And now Olivia C. heads to the plate to bat for the Tigers. Here's the pitch. And it's a swing and a miss by C. Going for second. Is she safe? She's out. That's going to be the second out of the inning by Henderson State. This has the potential to go into extra innings. This game is still tied 4-4 with Olivia C. batting now for Ouachita. Count is 0-1 with 2 outs. It's a swing and a miss by C. And one more strike in this game will indeed go into extra innings. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be fouled off to the left of me. Here's Keaton's pitch. And it's going to be fouled behind C this time. Again, into the safety net. Keaton, her pitch is high. And now that's going to be ball one for McKenna Keaton. For Keaton on the year, she has yet to record a win. Has recorded 4 losses in 25 innings pitched. Of course, with this pitch, she won't record a win just yet, as that one's found in front of the ready dugout. But it will further her chances to earn her first win on the year. Here's the pitch. And it's a swing and a miss by Olivia C. And we do indeed have extra innings here at Langston Field. Washita and Henderson are both tied apiece at 4. And Washita will be out in the field to start off the 8th inning of play with Cody Batchelor pitching. We're going to head into a break, but when we come back, we will have the 8th inning here at Langston Field. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but
And that first pitch of the 8th inning was fouled off by Caitlin McMahon, who's leading off the Reddies in this inning. Here's the pitch by Batchelor. Goes directly to Adams, and that's going to be the first out of the 8th inning for the Tigers. Good pickup and good connection between Adams and Lester from short to first. Mackenzie Williams at the plate for the Reddies. Here's the pitch. And that was low for ball number 1. And that was inside. That's going to be ball number 2. Here's the pitch. And that was low again for ball 3. 3-0 is the count with the 1 out. Mackenzie Williams has had a great evening in the second game of the doubleheader so far. In her previous 2 at-bats has 2 hits. She's recorded a run. Has even stolen a base. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. And Williams heads right to first. Now Jay Allbetter heads to the plate. for the Reddies. Now Coach Jackson going to come out and have a meeting with Batchelor in his infield. Washita still tied with the Reddies 4-4 here in this historic Battle of the Ravine matchup. Of course, last season, Washita and Henderson, they faced off a few times, and the last time they played each other here at home, and I mean home for Washita, that is, Washita would get the win, a 6-0 victory over the visiting Reddies. Tuesday Melton pitched in that game and pitched all 7 innings. But here is Cody Batchelor, and here's her pitch. That's going to be a bunt by Allbitter, trying to get it to first, and they do that. Washita records the second out of the inning, but it does advance Allbitter to second. Here is Lily Warren for the Reddies. Trying to go for the bunt, and that's going to be strike number 1. And even though it's getting late, it's getting close to 8 o'clock, and it's getting a little chillier, we still have fans coming in to catch the last bit of action here at Langston Field. In fact, it's Washita's volleyball team, as Washita just recorded the 3rd out of the inning, and now they're going to have a chance to see what they can do as far as hitting. Well, when we come back, we'll see what Washita can do in the final inning of this 8th inning. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Washita still in the 8th inning of play. We'll have a chance to hit here as Bailey King will lead off for the Tigers. And the Reddies have made another pitching change during the timeout. They decided to bring back in, it looks like that's going to be Megan Allen, who's reappearing for the Reddies. She started this game for the Reddies. Only pitched 31 times. She did allow 3 hits in 2 innings played and allowed 3 runs in the nice second inning for Washita. So Keaton goes out and Allen is back in. Well, with how much that Henderson State has been going through their pitchers, she may not even be the last one we see today. 0-1 is the count. And that's going to be an easy out for the Reddies. Getting picked up by Mackenzie Williams, right to Brooke Johnson at first. And that's going to be ball one. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be outside again for ball two. Outside again, that's going to be ball three. So far on the day, Erin Williams been struck out twice. Also fouled out in her 3 previous at-bats. And now she's going to have a chance to head to first base for the first time today, as that makes it ball 4. Remington Adams up to hit for the Tigers. Adams, a sophomore from Farmington, Arkansas, has also not done a whole lot in her 3 previous at-bats on the evening, has fouled out all 3 times. Trying to make a little difference here today. As she tips that one behind her. Here's the pitch. That one popped in between. Oh, and no, that's going to be McMahon with a nice grab out in right field for the Reddies. It looked initially like that might drop in between second and right in that gap. But that was a good grab by the senior from Sherwood, Arkansas. Now Caitlin Province up to bat for the Tigers. And it's right down the middle for strike number 1. So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. And a runner in Erin Williams at first. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside. Williams trying to steal. She'll get there. Erin Williams with a successful steal at second. And for Williams, that is actually her first stolen base on the year and her first attempt. Here's the pitch. And it's down the middle for strike number 2. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs here for Province. This is huge right here for both teams. Here's Allen's pitch. And, ooh, the Henderson crowd not happy with that one at all. Looked a little bit outside. It was close. But the Henderson crowd certainly thought that was a strike. They thought that was strike 3, and they'd be heading into the 9th inning. And it's a swing and a miss that time for Caitlin Province. And we do indeed have a 9th inning here at Langston Field between Ouachita and Henderson State. So do not go anywhere. Extra innings here in just a moment. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Well, entering the 9th inning of the Saturday evening softball broadcast, it is Henderson leading off with Hillary Akers. And my mistake, it is Tuesday evening, not whatever I said instead. And it's going to be an easy out initially for the Tigers. King to Lester, connecting once again at first. Here's the pitch. That was going to be outside. That's going to be ball one. Here's the pitch. And she does make contact, and she will foul that one. So 1-1 will be the count with one out. Here's Batchelor's pitch. That's going to be way high. That's going to be ball two. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be popped straight up. And she's able to get up under it. That's Olivia C. getting the second out of the inning for Ouachita. Now Macy Hoskins up to bat for the Reddies. That will be ball one. Hoskins in one of her previous at-bats recorded a double. She's looking to do something similar to that, as Henderson State would love to keep this game from going into a 10th inning if they could record a run right here. Here's the pitch, and that's in the dirt. It's going to be ball two. Here's the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. That's going to make it strike two. So 2-2 is the count with two outs. Ouachita and Henderson still tied up at 4 runs apiece. So Batchelor 1 strike away from giving her team the opportunity to hit. And that's going to be knocked right to short, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning for Ouachita. And for the Tigers, we'll get to see what they can do on offense and if they can indeed keep this game from going into a 10th inning. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
Visit the Washita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Washita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Washita campus store. Go Tigers.
Well, though we have softball here at Langston Field, we have a score update for Washita baseball. They're on the road in Magnolia, Arkansas, taking on Southern Arkansas, and they're leading 11-4 in enemy territory with multiple players with home runs, that being Cade Burris and Isaac Now had just hit a grand slam for the Tigers. So it looks like Washita is taking care of business down in Magnolia, but Washita looking to do the same here at home. Well, Bettinger tried to frame it up there. That'll be ball number 2. Here's Allen's pitch, and that's going to be outside again. That's going to be ball 3. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4 for Carly Burrow. She's going to go right to first. And now Riley Gillis is up to bat for the Tigers. Gillis has recorded an RBI already today. Can she hold on? There will be an out at second, but not at first. So Kaylee Burrow going to head back to the dugout, but Riley Gillis is at first. Will set to bat for the Tigers will be Marley Huddleston. As Coach Jackson taking a second to chat with the home plate umpire. But Huddleston so far today has recorded an RBI. It's also been hit by a pitch. I think she would prefer not the latter. That was right down the middle for strike number 1. That's outside again. That one is going to be ball number 1. And that goes right to second. Trying to get back to no, and that's going to be 2 outs for the Reddies. And now we will have even more innings heading into the 10th inning here at Langston Field, just like we did last Saturday in the first game of that doubleheader. Well, you are watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Make some noise. Now what's that?
Washita and Henderson still tied 4 apiece. Now entering the 10th inning of play here at Langston Field. What is getting towards a late night here at Langston Field, with the fans still loyal and a lot of fans still coming out to support their Tigers and Reddies, as that could potentially be a double here, and it sure will be. The Reddies showing some offensive life here, as that was Emily Bettinger leading off for the Reddies with that double. Well, next to bat for the Reddies is Josie Copeland, the sophomore. But Bettinger coming out of the game. Instead, they're going to be putting in number 17, Bray Jones. Bree Jones is a senior from Texarkana, Arkansas. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low. Williams was frantic to find the ball. She does indeed. Jones stays put at second. Here's the pitch. And that bunt attempt won't go anywhere. And Copeland heads right back to base. So far on the evening, Copeland has recorded just 1 hit in her previous 4 at-bats for the Reddies. He's going to let that one go. That's going to be ball 2. That one's a little high, and that's going to be ball 3 for Batchelor. Here's Batchelor's pitch. That's right down the middle for strike number 2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be batted into left field. Goes over C's head. And they're going to send a runner home. And the Reddies have pushed themselves in front by 1 run. That being Bree Jones finding her way home for her first run of the season for the Reddies. And it looks like Cody Batchelor's day is done for Washita, and Hannah Hunter, who started the first game of this doubleheader and pitched the entire game, she's in the ball game now for Washita. Well, Hunter had an excellent first game. She's a senior from Malvern, Arkansas. Just about 20-25 minutes north of here, northeast. And And coming from the University of Arkansas at Rich Mountain, just like her teammate, Marley Huddleston. And as I mentioned earlier, they produce a lot of talent in both baseball and softball. So far on the season, Hunter has recorded 2 wins and 7 losses in 49 innings pitched. She does have an 8.6 ERA and has allowed 80 hits on the season. But she has recorded 24 strikeouts and had that great performance earlier this afternoon. Now Caitlin McMahon up to bat for the Reddies. No outs for Henderson State and a runner on second, that being Josie Copeland. Here's the pitch. Here we go, 1-0 is the count, with Henderson State leading by 1 run. She makes contact, but they're going to have to bring her on back. And in fact, it is not Josie Copeland at second, it is Addison Tidwell who came in to run for Henderson State. But McMahon, the senior from Sherwood, Arkansas, started her career at Central Arkansas, and she's going to have to go right back after fouling that one again. Well, another score update of Ouachita's single-header matchup against Southern Arkansas. They're leading 12-4, as that's going to be a strike and gets McMahon back to the dugout. It's going to be strike 3 for Hannah Hunter. But for the Tigers in Magnolia, it is the top of the 8th. And again, they are leading 12-4 in Magnolia, after Wesley Scott just recorded a single. But anyway, we are back to some softball action. Hannah Hunter with that strikeout initially, and now Mackenzie Williams is up to the plate for the Reddies. Here's Hunter's pitch, and it's a little high, and that's going to be ball 3. Well, 3-0 is the count with 1 out for Hunter. The Ready dugout letting her hear about it, and that's going to be strike number 1. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be low, and that's going to be ball 4. So Williams heads to first base. And now Jay Allbitter, the sophomore, heading to the plate for the Reddies. Allbitter has already recorded a hit and an RBI so far today. That one's going to be high for Hunter. Ready still with a 1-run lead here in the top of the 10th. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be way inside. And Tidwell's going to head right back to second base after almost getting caught in no man's land. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for strike number 1. So 2-1 is the count with 1 out. Here's Hunter's pitch. Inside again for ball 3. Here's the pitch. And it was off her bat, and we're sitting with a full count and 1 out with runners on first and second for the Reddies. Here's the pitch. And it did go off her bat. So Albitter's going to stay right here. Here in the top of the 10th, here's Hunter's hit, and that one goes behind her. Albiter still stays put. Well, still a lot of the fans here sticking around and staying loyal here in the top of the 10th. That one's going to be popped up, and that goes just behind the Ready dugout. Here's the pitch. And that one, again, is fouled behind Albiter. Here's the pitch. And that one's popped up, and that's going to be an easy out for Bailey King coming in from third to get the second out of the inning. Still runners on first and second. Tidwell and Williams staying put for now. Batting for the Reddies now is Jerica Alvarez. Played in the previous game of this doubleheader. But is making her first appearance in the second of this doubleheader. But Alvarez, the senior from Dardanelle, Arkansas, transferred from Crowder College. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be strike number 1 for Hunter. Here's Hunter's pitch. That's going to be outside. That's going to be ball 1. And it's a swing and a miss by Alvarez for strike 2. Hunter getting cheers and chants of encouragement from her teammates and from the crowd here at Langston Field. Here's Hunter's pitch. And it's popped to Adams. Adams to Lester for out number 3 of this inning. And Washita will have a chance to hit here heading into the bottom of the 10th. We'll see if Washita can earn 1 or 2 runs to try to avoid a loss here at home. You're watching Tiger Softball on the Washita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say, "Oh, a cheetah."
Oh, Wichita.
Achita.
Oh, a cheetah.
Is it pronounced Oakita?
Searching for Washita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Washita.
Washita. Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Washita.
Washita.
It's Washita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Washita.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Well, we are entering the bottom of the 10th inning here at Langston Field on the campus of Washita Baptist University. It has been a tight one all night long. Washita with a 2-0 victory for the first game of this doubleheader. Now in the second game of the doubleheader, they find themselves down 1 in extra innings. Lauren Lester will be at the plate for the Tigers. Up against Megan Allen, pitching for the Reddies. That's going to be ball 1. Lester has already had 3 at-bats, and she's recorded a double as one of her 2 hits. Has also recorded an RBI. That's going to be ball 2. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be strike number 1 for Allen. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be strike number 2. So the count is 2-2 for Lester, the senior from North Little Rock. Would love to get on base here to put her Tigers in a good position to make an impact. And that foul attempt actually hit one of her teammates. It ricocheted and hit freshman Emma Love. Bounced off the dugout, hit her on the back of the leg. Looks like she's okay. Sure that stunned her and might even leave a bruise. That's going to be way outside for ball 3. Full count here for Lester and Allen. Senior versus senior. And it's a swing and a miss by Lester. And that's going to be out number 1 of the 10th inning. Now Olivia C. set to bat for the Tigers as we are back to the top of the order for Washita. That's going to be strike number 1 against the lefty C. That's going to be strike 2. 0-2 count with 1 out. Ouachita trailing by 1 in the final inning of play potentially. Here's the pitch. C makes contact, but it will be fouled in front of the party deck out in left field. Here's the pitch. And again, it's going to be fouled. This time right in front of Ouachita's dugout. That's going to be low. That's going to be ball number 1. C, the freshman from Mustang, Oklahoma, looking to avoid being struck out here. She will make contact, trying to get to first, and she will in time. It looked like for a second that the first baseman for Henderson, I don't believe it's Brooke Johnson now, but her foot left the bag. It's actually Jordan Holland, who was the first baseman in the previous game and has replaced Johnson here in extra innings, but her foot left the bag. And C, lucky enough to be safe there at first, but now it's Bailey King that's batting for the Tigers. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside. That's going to be ball 1. So 1-1 is the count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. And that looked to be a little high there for Allen. So that's going to be ball 2. If you're just joining us, it's the perfect time. Henderson State leads, and it looked like King got hit for a second, but she got out of the way just in time for that to be ball 3. But Henderson State leads by 1 run here in extra innings, the bottom of the 10th. This is Ouachita's last chance to either tie this game or to win. And now they have runners on first and second, so they're in a pretty good position to do something here as Aaron Williams, their home run hitter, is at the plate. Williams has already recorded a home run today. She recorded it in the first of this doubleheader. That's going to be strike number 1, but Williams on the season, when there are runners on base, her average is pretty solid, about 3,800. And Williams, that's going to be right to, and she drops it. Holland dropped it. That would have been the final out of the inning, and that would have allowed Henderson to head back across the street. But Williams with the hit right into the glove of Mackenzie Williams at second, delivering the second out. There are still runners on first and second. Adams, her shot up in the air, and that is going to do it. Henderson State records the victory here in enemy territory. Their 11th victory to be exact, and their 3rd victory in Great American Conference play, and their 3rd victory on the road. Ouachita falls to 5-19 on the season, 3-8 in Great American Conference play, and 4-7 at home. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight on this always classic Battle of the Ravine matchup between the visiting Henderson State Reddies and the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. Well, I'm Chris Gay. Everyone have a good evening. Be safe out there, and go Tigers.